Welcome, Libra. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dee, and this is Intuitive Life Advice. I am going to do a reading for you today called Troubled Love, and this is for the month of July 2021. I'm going to use my own personal decks that I create myself and design myself. I trust only my sense of knowing and my source, and that's just the way I do it. So what I'm going to do, although I shuffle these decks thoroughly while I'm concentrating on the energy of the reading I'm about to do, I will go ahead and do a quick shuffle like this so that everyone can see that the decks are shuffled, because I know how important that is to the viewers. And I understand that completely. This way you can see that they're being shuffled, but we're just not going to go through the whole long, drawn-out shuffling process on camera. My hope for this channel is that we can come together as a community and help one another heal from bad relationships, whether they be from a relationship that caused you to suffer some type of narcissistic abuse, or whether it was a physically abusive relationship, a verbally abusive relationship, financially abusive, sexually abusive, any type of bad relationship. We're going to be here for one another. We're going to help one another walk through this energy, come out on the other end like a star, okay? A bright, shining, beautiful star. And that's what I hope you all will join me in doing. Please like, share, and comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up button, anything you can do to help me grow. And the more people we can bring to this channel to subscribe, the more people we can help. And that's just what I want to do. I'm going to spend so much of my time, my extra time, any time that I have available to you all to do these readings for you. And I hope that it can help a lot of people. That's my wish. I'm going to take 3 cards from this Divine Grace deck. The first one is going to be what has happened in the recent past that has brought us to where we are now. And then we're going to pull a card for where we are now in this relationship, what energies are there. And then we're going to pull a card for what is going to happen in the near future if we stay on the path we're on, if we stay on the path that we are on currently. So our first card for our recent past, our card for the current situation that we're in. Amazing. And a card for our near future. If we stay on this path that we're on, this state that we're in, where are we headed? And that's actually an amazing group of cards there. Libra. And I'm getting ready to tell you why. Whenever you're in a relationship, excuse me, and you are feeling that you are required to be obedient in this relationship, is one thing. If you are being obedient because that's what you want to do in your heart, that's also another thing. And we can talk about those as the cards come out in readings down the road. But this particular reading is telling me, this group of cards is telling me that you are being, you're like almost obeying someone, or recently you were. And this could be as recent as last week. It could have been yesterday. It could have been last month, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago for some of you. And when you're an empathic type person, you kind of fall into a whole different category where you're not like other people. You just don't. There are no real group of descriptive words that someone could use that you are going to just be a part of. You're not going to fall into a specific category. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you're not like others. You don't do things for the same reasons that others do them. if you're with someone and you're kind of letting them call all the shots and you're being obedient because that's what you want to do, because you're trying to get through to somebody and try to show them the light, you're trying to show them the way, I hear that often. And those people are empathic. They're people who feel that they can actually help someone heal, and they can. But the problem that comes from that, the problem that arises in a situation like that where you're trying to help someone heal, when you're dealing with a narcissist, let me rephrase that. When you're dealing with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, that person is not going to respond to anything that you're trying to teach them. And if they do, it's probably going to be 50 years from now, and that's going to be too late. 30 years from now, that's going to be too late. So people change when they become an elderly person, because they either forget some of the things that they've done because they've pushed them so far down into their soul that they just can't even remember the horrific things they've done, and that can happen, or they're choosing to not remember those things. Now, what I'm saying here to you is, you were being obedient in your recent past, and I feel that you were trying to help someone and it didn't work. And I feel like this lasted for a very long time. I go with that because the state of grace that you're in right now. You are in a state of grace from the Almighty in the current energy right now today. And that is breathtaking to see. And it just literally makes me feel like you are being held in the arms of your Creator, because you have shed so many tears in this relationship that have you ever heard "Cry Me a River"? Just the saying. I'm not referring to a song. I'm referring to the phrase "cry me a river," because you have cried a river, and your Creator sees that. Every tear. Because when you cry from your soul like you were, those tears come from a different place than someone who cries because they didn't get their way, or they cry because someone said something that hurt their feelings. Your tears came from your soul because you gave your whole life, everything you had, to help someone, because you wanted to show them there's a better way. You wanted to help them see the light. You wanted to show them the way. This is how you do it. This is how you become a better person. All you have to do is step over this line and come into my world, and everything will be wonderful and beautiful and true. And they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't listen to you. They just would not listen. So you went through so many phases, so many gut-wrenching, soul-ripping out phases in this situation, that it caused you to go through so many bad energies, so many bad steps in your life. You've taken steps backward, 1 forward, 5 backward, 1 forward, 10 backward, 1 forward, 7 backward. You're finally, if I'm guessing here, intuitively guessing, which is always a very close guess, I would say you have been in this relationship for about 10 years, 10 to 12 years, and you have been through hell and back. And I mean hell and back with this person. And they just continued on to not listen to you, devalued everything that you said or did. None of it made a difference. And you just kept trying. You kept trying, Libra. And that is so not you. You are normally telling someone, look, if you either get on board here or I'm out of here. I'm not wasting my life, which I do know the value of, on someone who doesn't value me. Now that's normally you, but in this situation it was like you were just so set on turning this person around and the way they thought and the way they felt and the things they did, their actions. You just believed in them so much that you kind of came out of your normal self and hung out a little longer than you should have. But you did recognize that. You did recognize that, Libra, because you are now in this state of grace. God's got you. Your Creator's got you. And if you stay there, you're going to end up in silence. And I'm going to tell you what that means for you as soon as we find out who you're dealing with here. Well, 2 came out. Look at this. Libra, that's you. That's your clarification that this is for you. Stepmom. This is dealing with a stepmother. This is not a romantic relationship. You're dealing with a stepmother, which completely, utterly, and clearly explains why you hung in there as long as you did. It's because you had something invested. It's a stepmom. You know, she's liable to have been the one that was there for you all your life, or she may have came into your life. She could have come into your life a little later in life. Either way, you were invested and you cared. You loved her, which completely explains the reason that you stuck in there as long as you did. You hung in there. You stayed in there. You took the punches. You rolled with the punches for a long time, very long time, Libra. And now that you pulled yourself out of that situation and you're like, okay, the fork is in it as far as you're concerned, you're going to step back. You're not going to ever re-enter the ring with this person again. You'll probably be cordial. Hello, goodbye, how are you? But you won't ever try to get into this person's head or soul ever again, because you see that you're not being received as you should by this person. Now, the silence card is telling us that you are just gonna keep your mouth shut, pretty much. And that's just normal. That's just kind of like that's just a normal response in this situation. In other situations, in other groups of cards, when they're pulled, that can mean a completely different thing. But in this situation, with these 3 cards, that is telling me that you are just going to keep it all to yourself now. You're not even going to let it, it's not even going to be marinating in there. It's just going to be unsaid. You're not going to feel it anymore. You're going to let it go. You're just going to, you love this person, you care about them, but you're not going to spend any more energy trying to make this person see you. They're just not going to do it. And you see that. You understand that. Of course you do. You're a Libra. They're lucky. They were blessed that you hung in there as long as you did. And if they had listened to you, their whole life could have changed in wonderful ways. But they didn't. So you're going to keep it to yourself from now on. Let's see how bad this situation was when it was bad. Let's see how bad this situation was when it was bad. It was a low 0.5. Now, what that means is this person was severely hard-headed. This isn't a physically abusive situation in your past here with this stepmother. This isn't a physically abusive, emotionally abusive, narcissistic, any of that. It was just this person did not see you. They did not listen to you. They did not see you. You were just trying to show them that you needed them to treat you like they were your mother, like they were there for you, like a mother treats, maybe possibly like she was treating her other children. And that's terrible. But, and I'm going to say this, this severity level here being a 0.5, that's not even a 1 on a scale from 1 to 11, which with 11 being off the charts. This tells me that that's just Libra. That's just a Libra. You're not going to let something penetrate into your heart when it doesn't even deserve a second thought to you. You already know who you are. You always have, and you always will. That's just the way you are, Libra. So a normal person, this probably would have been about a 5, pretty bad. But for you, it's not. And that just kind of gives me clarity even further, because you're a Libra and you're just not going to let something get to you like that. We're going to draw a word of wisdom here. And there it is. And this is here. H-E-A-R, here. You're listening. You see this card here? State of grace. Taking you to this where you're being quiet, silence. You're quiet. You're listening so that you can hear your guidance from your Creator. You're fine. You're going to be fine. You are going to be fine, Libra. And you probably already are. You take care. I've enjoyed doing this reading for you. Hopefully it will help you in some way. Maybe you got a little platinum nugget out of that. And I wish you well. And I hope to read for you again, Libra. You have a wonderful July. Take care.